Hey, everybody. This is Demia Avery of the Demia Avery Show. So, I wanted to keep you guys updated on the Diddy trial. Today, I wanted to keep you updated on a continuation from Dawn Richard's testimony. So, you guys know she testified starting Friday. If you haven't checked that one out, go back to my last post and you'll be able to get caught up. So, I'm going to go ahead and read what we have right now. Don't forget to hit that like button and share. So here we go. Dawn Richard says she saw Cassie Ventura at different times with injuries on her face, arms, legs after Diddy was violent towards his former girlfriend, Cassie, and she attempted to cover up the injuries with clothing, makeup, and sunglasses. Some members of Combs' security staff also witnessed Combs being violent towards Ventura, Richard testified. They wouldn't react, they wouldn't do anything, she said, and I guess I'm imagining because of fear or whatever. They would get fired. So, Richard is testifying about a 2009 incident that she was at Diddy's home in New York with Cassie and Kalina Harper. Holmes and Ventura got into an argument and then he punched her in the face, Richard testified. Richard said Ventura went into the bathroom crying while Combs walked off angry. Richard said that Ventura's eye was swollen, so she put makeup on it and wore sunglasses to try to hide the injury. The jury saw a photo of three women wearing sunglasses in public after the alleged assault. Richard testified about another occasion in which she said she saw Diddy punch Cassie, this time in the stomach while at a restaurant. Several people from the record label were present in the room at a dinner. We're going to get to the names because there are some names here that witnessed that, you guys. Um, she says after Ventura bent over, reacting to the punch, Holmes directed her to leave. After leaving the restaurant, Richard testified Combs and Ventura were arguing in the car. Of course, Cassie was embarrassed and told Combs he shouldn't have done that. According to Richard, he grabbed her by the neck and popped her, slapped her in the mouth, and told her to shut up. Security personnel who were present in the car didn't do anything, and the rest of the car ride, it was quiet, Richard testified. Richard later testified in cross-examination that R&B singers Usher, Neo, and Beats Electronics co-founder Jimmy Iovine were amongst the celebrities who were at the restaurant that day. Richard said she and Harper wore sunglasses to, in I guess that's the picture thing, to have solidarity, to be a friend, to be a support system for Lassie. Richard testified she heard Diddy discuss Ventura's career with her before, and she said during those conversations, Combs would sometimes turn violent towards Ventura, but he usually say Ventura's career would progress on his time. Richard testified. It would be on his time, it was coming, but when he said, I own you. When I'm ready for you, I'll do it. And it was always wait your turn, that sort of thing. Richard um, goes on to say she asked Cassie to basically leave Diddy, and she said Cassie looked torn, like she would listen, but you could see she had fear in her eyes. Richard started to say before being, you know, she started to say more, but she was cut off by the defense in objection, and then it was sustained by the judge. Richard testified that when Combs found out about these conversations, he told her to stay out of their relationship, and she was there to work. He would also tell her to stop, or else she'd pay for it. Richard said she made a decision to stay out of the relationship from then on for her own safety. Richard goes on to say that often she would see Diddy taking drugs, including weed, ketamine, and cocaine. She never saw him take any opioids. The drugs were delivered to the studio by a man was she said was called One Stop. And Combs kept the drugs in a Louis Vuitton bag that went everywhere with him from domestic to overseas. She said what else she says? He would always carry a pow pow. Y'all know what a pow pow is. I can't really say that on social media or, He typically placed that pow pow in his lower back, he said, and two of the bodyguards also carried one as well in the same place. Um, I read somewhere where she said she never actually seen him pull it out, but she knew that he carried it. Um, Later Monday, on a cross examination, Richard testified that she had seen Combs' assistant giving money to One Stop in exchange for drugs. Defense attorney Nicole Westmoreland pointed to a previous meeting Richard had with prosecutors, in which Moreland said Richard said she had never seen anyone giving payments to One Stop. So it looks like the defense is pointing out some inconsistencies in Richard's testimony. Um, so where are they going from here? Okay, so they're going on, and then they start talking about later on, Richard, Dawn, the band dismantled and everything, but Richard later on in years called back Diddy and wanted the group to get back together. And of course the defense is like, okay, why would you do that? If he's threatening you and doing all these things, why are you doing that? And she goes on to say she didn't want to do it, but the reason why she was doing it is because for she was doing it for Kalina Harper. That was the other girl that was in the singing group with them, with her and Diddy. She said she was doing it as a friend. She didn't want to do it, but she was doing that as a friend. Now I'm assuming she is meaning Kalina must needed money because Dawn was doing stuff independently. I'm sure she wasn't making a lot of money, but according to her, she wasn't really making any money with either. But she was having success with the record, but she really wasn't making any money because Diddy wasn't paying her. But anyway, we'll get back to that. But Selena wasn't making any money at all, so she said she did it for her. Um, Let me see if there's anything else. So she just goes on. They kind of question her about her career, and what they're trying to do is basically say Richard is trying to get a money grab because they start asking her about her music and saying the music without Diddy wasn't selling, it wasn't successful. So the music that you had wasn't successful. She's like, not really, not as much as it was, of course, when she was with Danity Kane or with Dirty Money. So they're trying to pigeonhole her to that. And they're saying she needed the money. And she's like, well, with Diddy, she said, they were like, well, why are you having this lawsuit? And she's saying that I'm just basically trying to get compensated. I'm not really doing it for the money. I'm doing it for the justice, I guess, of Cassie and justice of doing what's right. And they're like, so basically you're doing it for the money because you're suing. And she's like, I just want to get what I'm owed. Because she said she worked long hours, she wrote some stuff, yada yada yada, and she just wants to be compensated. And I think it was something like a million something something. So I don't think, I mean, anybody that does work on their records, they want to be paid. And I don't think she wasn't asking for. It looks like she wasn't asking for an absorbent amount of money. She just wants what she's owed. So that's what it looks like they were doing with her. So they were just trying to, the defense looks like they were just trying to make it seem like she had some holes and some inconsistencies. So they were trying to just break down her character. So that's pretty much how that worked. And that's it, you guys. So I don't really see. I probably don't need to do a part two. We can just keep part one. That's pretty much how it happened. But you know what? Let me just. I am going to do a part two so we can get with the guns, the pow pow situation. All right, guys. Part two coming up.